and the golden voice of Neal Rhul. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy, right here.
Big D buzzing, baby, buzzing.
Woodward
Let's go.
Sports Network. My name is Neal Rhul. That guy, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Big Mike Gentry back in the house. And, of course, we got Spencer Rackster, one half of the heavyweights, 5 to 7 today on the Woodward Sports Network. But, just here, getting into it, chopping it up. And we got a lot of football to get to, obviously, here on a Thursday. We got the picks coming up. Of course, our Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em Cup. So we'll get you those also. The Red Wings, though. Big win yesterday. I think if you hadn't watched the Red Wings yet this year, I think that was a good game to get into because it illustrated everything about this year's Red Wings team, I think, D-Mac, in that they shot out of the gates. Pittsburgh came in, got a goal real quick. You're like, oh, okay, the bottom's falling out. Then they dominated the rest of the game. And then, they had some leakage defensively, kind of let Pittsburgh back in, but in the end they closed it out. Because, D-Mac, this is what this Red Wings team is. Clearly better, a lot better, worlds better. Because they got a primetime player.
Absolutely, but still questions.
Obviously, exactly. And you know the questions.
But if they play like they did last night, right? And you can agree. I mean, I would say that was a solid 50-minute effort. We're a little slow out of the gate, which is something I'm sure Derek Lalone will address. But they came back and they fight. They fight. And here's the thing, Neal. You know that they have the ability throughout the lineup, not just their top guys, not just DeBrincat, who you're talking about, who has come in as our prolific 40-goal guy and has been hot and stayed there, and we can say that, but it's through the lineup. Andrew Kopp gets a couple last night. You look at, how the new guys Confer is added. We're talking about, Sprong and throughout the lineup. You look at Perron in the power play yesterday. So power play, definitely, I was telling you before the show, if we look at the Lions, you say, what's their number one asset? Offensive line. The Red Wings, their power play unit.
Best power play in the league.
Yeah, the best, and it's something that at the eyeball test, Neal, and you said that every time they're on the ice, it looks like they can score. Just to the confidence they have, the way they're moving it around. And, that's what I expected through the additions of Gostisbehere, Petrie, DeBrincat, and with the talent that we've had out there. So they're humming. Now, again, this is the way that the game's going to be. You'd expect, a lot of times with a 4-1 lead, other teams shut it down. Nobody's going to shut it down. It's, there's going to be these moments, but they persevered and were able to win the game. Shout out to Ville Husso. He plays like that, makes those saves when he needs to. We will definitely be a playoff team. So it doesn't get any easier than that, but, this is the norm. I was also saying, you know what it is, right? And the biggest thing, not only adding these guys that I mentioned, right, for their talent, but look at what they mean to the other guys on the team, right? You look at Lucas Raymond, who we all said he's got to have a comeback sort of season, right? He's added some weight. We see him out of the gate being used throughout the lineup, being effective. Guys like that. Andrew Kopp, not just a couple goals, but, it's adding the Confers and guys like this. I was mentioning to you before, right? When these guys get around each other and they're playing this and you have to practice, it goes back to when I played, when we played. The grind line never touched. It's like killing penalties in practice every game against the Russian 5 and Eisenman. That you never touch the puck, right? so it's playing with these talented guys. So these guys are enjoying. You can see that they're pushing each other. Buzzing is the word that I use because this, like the one eyeball test too. And I'll go to Mikey with this because this is the one thing you can see from up where he watches the game from the press box is the speed of this team is like half a step, if not a step, throughout the lineup better.
Oh, no. Up and down the lineup, speed, you can go defensemen, forwards, whatever. They are 100% a way faster team and just a way faster team than last year. 100%.
Yeah, so that's the one thing, Neal, is with the power play, what it brings you is it's sort of the deterrent. You brought up a great point too, Mikey, that I think should be addressed, is the fact that, look at Dylan Larkin dropping his gloves and stuff like this. Now, when your captain sets the tone and you don't want him always doing that, and against the guy that he did in Peterson, it's a fair trade-off. But you see, without Dylan Larkin being able to match up because he's in the box for 5 minutes or longer than that, you can see how the ice surface changed. So that's something just to be aware of. But again, when your captain steps up and does that, you got to make sure you win the game, and they did.
No, 100%. He kind of just set the tone. Obviously, in any given game, you don't want to take Larkin off the ice for 8 minutes in the third period, and they did let a few squeaky ones get past them. But overall, they played good defense to finish out the game, and they capped it off. So you can't really complain. Shout out to Ville Husso and shout out to DeBrincat, leading the NHL in points. Who would have thought, man?
And that's the biggest thing right there. And oh, by the way, 10% of the way to a 50-goal season already. So there you go. I'm glad I facilitated that trade and got it done.
You know what? It's things that you do behind the scenes that people will never see.
No, they won't, and I don't want them to. I just want everybody to be happy, so that's why I did it. I was working for the people there. But no, he's everything we thought he would be.
Hey, Neal, Dan Wood says, eye test, ? Stats are the solo delineator. Not in my book. Not in my world. Stats can be misleading a lot of the time.
Well, and DMAC, look, you say stats are the delineator, and this is like the Sam Flannels of the world and stuff like that. Like when I talk about nuance, is Alex DeBrincat going to score 90 goals this year?
Yes.
Is he is he Alexander Coffey?
Yes.
Is he Alexander Mogilny circa 1992? No, he's not going to get 90 goals this year. So if stats are your only delineator, you think he's going to. That's crazy. So is he going to score 70 power play goals?
Yes.
Yes. Book it.
Bring him
home. My favorite thing about yesterday? There were a couple things. Number one, Jamison Williams in the building to sound the pregame horn, and I saw BMG's tweet yesterday. He got a little footage of that. You know what I liked about that? The building was going crazy for the man.
Oh yeah. He was loving it, too. I seen some videos of him actually watching the game and him reacting to the Wings winning. He was loving it, man. And fans are showing him love.
That city culture we're talking about, ingrained, right? And I know from our time, we were the biggest Lions fans and Tigers fans, to the day, even all the rest of the guys. So it's becoming a city thing. I thought that was cool, too. And it was, shout out. And Dan, I know you were kidding. It was just a way because that's how that's Sam Flannel's whole argument, isn't it?
Yes.
What are the stats?
So, again, you can book a 90-goal season for DeBrincat. Book it. If he doesn't, it's a failure. Get him out of here. I'll make the moves, and I'll get him out of town if he doesn't get 90 goals, D-Mac. So just let him know, okay, next time you're down there. So I like that. The other thing that I liked yesterday that came out of the Red Wings game, our own Spencer Raxter asked permission. And I think it's a good question. And I like the question we have on the poll right now. Who is the Red Wings' biggest villain so far this season? You got Sergachev in there, you have Malkin, and also you have Sam Flannel. And Sam Flannel right now with about 80% of the vote.
Small shout out to the Morning Wood and the sense of humor is when I wake up this morning again. And I heard Sam double down, but that's no big deal. But if you see the picture for the Morning Wood on the YouTube channel with Sam Flannel holding the cup or whatever as a black ace, guys like Flannel behind the scenes, deserve their props too.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Sam. I didn't really know you were there.
And Ryan in the back kind of hated on us. He's picking his side. He picked the morning show side because he made that thumbnail for them. And I asked him nicely if for our thumbnail it could be a picture of Sam sniffing the nuts of a giraffe. But we didn't get it.
That's bullshit, Lentz.
Yeah.
All right, Lentz.
All I've done for that guy,
just give him money.
Give him winners. I've given him money.
Guy. You're printing money.
Literally, I've been an ATM machine for that guy. You ask him one favor, and he says no.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, you know what? That would have been such a great surprise. Made me feel so good, Spenny. I would have laughed.
I tried
so hard. You know what? I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
You know what? Hey, Detroit versus everybody, Big D Energy versus the world. We already know that.
No, we've been knowing. We stay knowing that. I guess we could say that.
Hey, Neal, what about this one? Dan Wood says you created Sam. Neal created Sam. He says that's your. Do you take responsibility?
Well, but I can also destroy him too.
Yeah, that very much fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
It's I brought you into this world. I can take you out. Same things at home. Go here at Big D Energy.
Yes. Dan Wood also said, thank you, Neal, for DeBrincat, I assume he's talking about. You guys are welcome. I do what I can do. That's all I do is give. And the people like Dan Wood says, hey, thank you, Neal. What does Ryan Lentz do? Says, piss off, Neal. All right, man. I'll remember. I won't get all upset about it, but I will remember that, Ryan Lentz. The problem is, so when we do the picks later, I have to send the picks to him for him to make the graphic, so I can't, cut him off, but maybe I can.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing that we just throw it in the universe of what's happening, right?
That's true.
Was there any lies?
So he just texted me. He said tomorrow. He forgot he had to make the Feldman picks.
Oh, he forgot.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, it's... Oh, sorry, sir. All of a sudden, now everything's handled. That's so typical. That's so typical. Lion Slappy,
He's a good guy. He does a lot.
Lion Slappy, 3-game, fellas. Yes, it's exciting, but let's slow down some. And here's the deal, though, Lion Slappy. Look, is the DeBrincat pace sustainable? No, it is not sustainable.
Yes,
However, 90 goals.
90 goals.
70 power play goals.
Yep.
I'll take it for the fantasy squad. Oh, by the way, whose fantasy team is in first place?
Hey, yo.
Larkin, DeBrincat, back to back.
And back to how's Verona doing?
Nah, he's got an assist in 2 games.
But the Rasmussen. Are you mad you didn't make the Rasmussen?
You could probably still get him.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Okay.
I could still get him, but Perron is also still out there, and I had him queued up, but I was like, man, and I'm a fan of the stack. Spenny and I talk about the stack all the time. If you can get a good stack,
if you can, dude.
but a triple stack is aggressive.
But not with the power play unit, right? That's like saying in the past 3-4 years you had Stamkos, Kucherov, and Hedman. You gonna get mad at that?
No, of course not.
That's a gift with the way that this power play is rolling right now and how Perron's being used on the first unit.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Let's go Red Wings party. Big D Energy brought DeBrincat home. We did.
We did.
We did do it. Just a couple of texts. Steve-O Baby, Neal, I'm drinking the Red Wings Kool-Aid, and it's really damn good. It is good. It is good. I do enjoy this, man, because we forget what it was like. And, hey, I told you guys, we got a taste of this late May, early June with the Tigers. Just a little taste, just like a small plate restaurant appetizer where they bring it out, and you're like, oh, that's it? We got that with the Tigers for a minute, for a week. But I think this has some staying power to where, we don't just cycle back for football every single weekend and then spend the week building up to football. There's something to get you through.
You got some sustenance.
Yes.
Right, and it ain't cream of wheat.
Right.
No, not at all. This is you're having a nice little meal because the consistency. And here's the thing, Neal, we're not getting out ahead of ourselves because you still see where the misses are. And if they can button those up, like I said, that 10 minutes, that's not going to hurt you. It doesn't get any easier, right?
Right.
You got some heavy trudging, into this weekend going into Ottawa, who's a team that, for lack of a better term, the proverbial 4-point game, because these are the guys you're going to be fighting, and Ottawa's going to be your rival in this Eastern Conference for the next 5 years.
DeBrincat 2-goal game loading.
Ottawa and Buffalo, you watch the 3 of these teams, Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, just sort of move their way up in the next few years. So,
is this going to be the Seattle Seahawks, Ottawa Senators?
You know what? You're saying, who's the team that's going to be your Achilles? I find, and you look at the big thing is, if anybody doesn't know, is that their number one, one of their number one guys, Josh Norris, who was out all last year, and really 2 years ago, 30-goal guy, he had a couple last night. Right, so he's back. Yeah, I don't know, Neal. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that the worst case scenario, you want to make the Ottawas and the Buffaloes like we made the Chicagos and the St. Louis instead of the Dallases, Colorados.
Hoof-Hearted says Ottawa isn't built to last. They can't handle a few injuries at the top end. Well, Hoof-Hearted,
nobody can.
Neither can we. Let's be real. what's the change this year? What's different? There's a dude in town. A legit dude, a legit goal scorer with a resume that's going to make you pay. And when you dick around and you go in the penalty box, it's not about who's going to beat you up or anything. It's who's going to make you choke on a power play goal.
See, and to Hoof Harden's point is that if you're going to look at the depth of our organization, and you saw it, Austin Zarnak, look at him get called up. He's an NHL player. We got a NHL ready guys in the minor. We could sustain it a little bit more, but you can't sustain the high-end scoring power play. That comes from elite talent.
And there's no substitute for that.
There's no substitute
because
for that.
Those guys are not down in the minors. Because those guys come up to play. Just like people that get their haircut at Lady Jane's.
Absolutely.
They're serious.
No, just so serious. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. You can register to win a trip of your dreams, all expense paid suite to the 2024 NCAA basketball tourney. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company's provided Michigan's finest restaurants. Yes, when you go out to eat in the city, the fine meats that you're enjoying, they come from Fairway Packing Company. The finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and of course, dry-aged beef as well. Experience a Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Get you some grab-and-go steaks there. The best ribeye I've ever made in my life from Fairway Packing Company. Go down there, guys. Give it a spin. Order online at fairwaypacking.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN.
Key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White and Associates. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
We are off and running here on a Thursday. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul and Darren McCarty and Big Mike Gentry and Spencer Raxter. And all of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat, thread, subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and jump in there and get your thoughts out there. Big shout out to our guy Ryan's reaction too, by the way. Came through here today, gave off some t-shirts to the heavyweights for them to rock, to about his wife's cannabis company that works for. I believe it's Bowman House. I believe that's what it is called. Also snuck a bottle of bourbon in the box as well. I've been wanting to try the Yellowstone. I haven't tried it. People in the chat
Well, I
let me
would
know.
have tried her products if you would have sent some of those, bro. We could have covered the gambit.
we could have ran it all across. So, yeah, we're chopping it up, and we did, touch on the Red Wings, and they deserve that. They're off to a 3-1 start. They're in first place in the division. They have the best power play in the game, and they have the league's highest scorer in Alex DeBrincat. Yes, that is a factual statement. So get in, everybody. You're welcome. I'm glad I facilitated that trade. But, there is some Lion stuff we have to get into. And the biggest thing, you guys know my friend Terminal Dennis.
Oh, yeah. Give us an update.
He's been waiting for this moment his whole life.
Is he enjoying it? Or is it too much to handle?
Yes and yes.
Is he turned into the young kid on Halloween? With all he went out, took the pillowcase, got it all full. Now he's back there, dumped it out, and doesn't know where to start. because it's so true, or is
it's all the stuff flying around like this. Craig Reynolds missed practice, right? Jahmyr Gibbs is still up in the air. They expect him to play, right, Spenny? When last we talked about it,
who, Gibbs?
Yeah,
Gibbs and Branch are probably more than likely playing.
All right, which we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes. More than likely they're playing. But my buddy Terminal Dennis sent the text, and he's like, damn, Craig Reynolds is going to be out. Like, how much can you take? How much can you take? And just to give you guys the background on it, for those that don't know, if you're new to the show, my buddy Terminal Dennis is one of those one that lives and dies with every game. Yes, all the time. Even the last 50 years, 40 years, whatever it's. Every minute of his life, he's lived and died with every one of them.
So every little move here and there. So he's just not to the fact that we're going in the right direction.
No, he is.
Trust in Holmes.
Yeah, no,
and
he
stuff.
does. He is. But when it goes to an extreme like that, everyone has their limits, right? Like everybody has their limits of what they can withstand, what you can be cool with. You know what I'm saying? He's like, who's Mo Ibrahim, like a guy that we just signed back 4 days ago, is going to be the feature back if Gibbs can't play. He's like, how much can you take?
Yeah, but then doesn't it? See, I look at it. Terminal Dennis here. Let's look at it this differently with its opportunity, and look at if this was going to happen, which we can agree, Neal, because we talked about availability in this league, that every team goes through this, don't they? At some point, right? So you're going to go through this now with where you've set yourself up with the record that you have, right? But I believe it's more in the locker room to the team. So your offensive line and your leaders, your Penei Sewells and your Ragnows and your Deckers and your Goffs and your Amara. This is just another opportunity for these guys out to ball out for the next man up. That's what they have to do in case this happens in the worst possible time, right? The first home playoff game and guys aren't available and stuff like this. So again, what have we seen? So, Terminal Dennis, I'm going to address this to you. What have we seen Brad Holmes do? He's been able to put guys in the lineup that actually are effective and do something, right? Maybe not to the extent of what the starter would have done, but these guys are effective NFL guys. Do we not agree? Right? And the best part is sometimes our backups are truly our backups. Our starters are our starters. Well, this is another. How good is our offensive line? Take it upon yourself. If I'm that offensive line and I'm supposed to be as good as I am, then it's the same thing as plugging in a young guy to fill the role, right? By committee, the running back's the same thing. And Ibrahim, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it? What have we seen in Miami? Young guys, H-on or whatever like this. You never know what's going to happen. I'm more confident because of the system and what I've seen in Ben Johnson's offense in the offensive line. So whoever's running behind him. And I'd rather it be right now at this point of the season into this game, right, than later on in the season when it really matters.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Max
Lions
Mayer
fans.
says, no, he didn't say Lions fans. He said, who's even available at running back? And Max, like for me, when I read that text from my buddy today, he caught me for a minute. I was like, damn, man, like, how much more can you take? How much more can you take? But here's the deal. Sunday, it happened Sunday. Like Craig Reynolds was out there. Craig Reynolds was the lead back.
What did Craig Reynolds do? Craig Reynolds, forget his running things or whatever like this, but it's like culture. He threw one of the best blocks I've seen.
Yeah. Well, and D-Mac, look, I know that's what everybody points to, but here's what he did. What he had 10 carries for 15 yards,
yeah.
But it didn't matter because it's not what he did. It's what Jared Goff did.
Of
When the
course.
back was to the wall, he went and won you a game on the road. Like, you can't take that away from the man.
No.
You can't explain that away.
And who are you going to put the spotlight on this game? Who's got to win this game for you again without your running backs? It's Goff. This is a Goff game right here, right? But he obviously can't do it alone. He needs to be protected. He needs help. Again, this is a replay of last week, is it not, as far as who's your best player? It's got to be Jared Goff.
Yeah, so, it's one of those things where Jared Goff, yes, and it's a big ask. And I know where, like, the easies of the world will say, oh, you're already laying the groundwork to explain away if Goff has a bad game. It's the NFL. there are 3 stinkers a year on the road for everybody. One is coming, everybody. Just to let you know, there is one coming. It will happen. He's not going to throw for 7,000 yards this year. Just be prepared for it because it can happen, especially the number 2 defense in the NFL.
And I think this game plan is pretty much off the game plan as what you did last week going into Tampa Bay. It's field position. You know, it's taking a shot when you can get the shot, but it's taking care of the ball. That's exactly what you have to do. You can't turn over.
And that's of the utmost importance. You cannot turn it over.
That is a non-negotiable.
Yes. And that is, like, obviously that's every week in this league, right? Every week in this league, you can't turn the football over against a National Football League team. As I always like to say, they drive Mercedes too, man. But this week, the matchup, every game's in a vacuum in this league. You always hear me say that because every game is in a vacuum. Nothing is linear in this league. So when I look at it, that becomes even more important. That is a baseline, D-Mac. As you said, that is a non-negotiable. They cannot turn the football over. You have to be clean this week to win this game. This is a tough ask,
where
everybody.
Are we at? I see in the chat thread here, woodwardsports.com chat thread or whatever. Because a lot of it I see the Ravens, like a lot of the same chat is like this Ravens defense is good, but they haven't been tested yet. Do we think that this Ravens defense is a deterrent or one of the best defenses that we've come up against so far this year? Like, how do you look at it? Or is it looking at it, if we're efficient and we continue to do what we're doing, we should be all right?
I just go by what the Michigan fans tell me. You can only play who's on your schedule. You know, like
but I'm saying, are you worried
7.
about this Ravens defense?
Hell yeah,
more so than any other game going into any other game this season.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so there's your big test. This is your first big test. Maybe they haven't been tested, just what some people say, but this will be the biggest test.
This
for
is
you.
the NFL, man. We're in week 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're
D-Mac?
cooking.
Like we're in week 7
now.
in the NFL. You've been tested. You know what I mean? And they. Like their last 3 games they're giving up like 9 points per game or what? But it's tough. It's tough,
dude. Listen, and where your defense is at right now. Let's not. What hasn't been talked about, at least I haven't heard. You gave up 6 points, right, in a road game. That means your defense is playing with some freaking confidence right now, right? Hopefully, like you said, we get Branch back, which is only gonna elevate that, against Lamar. Like, because I think that Branch is key, because somebody's going to have to. The thing that I mentioned yesterday and will continue is, can we keep Lamar Jackson from running all over us? Because that's the one thing still that I'm not 100% on is stopping the mobile quarterback.
And it's interesting you bring that up, because I'm going to do what a lot of people do and kind of lift a topic from somewhere else. But hey, on Detroit Lions game day, you guys know Woodward Sports is where it is at, and it all starts with our Lions Insider Show, Woodward and Maine, 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Lock into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Fire up the smart TV, flip it on, pour the coffee. Gabby D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and of course the legend Terry Foster will have all the inside news for you. They'll take a look at the matchup, and that's every Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., and also on Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Woodward Sports, doing it better than anybody when it comes to football in this town. That is fact, not opinion. Just like it is also a fact that Hamlin Pub is the kind of place where you're a regular. 7 locations around the Metro Detroit area. There is a Hamlin Pub that is close to you. And join the Woodward Sports Lions postgame show live from Hamlin Pub on Tenkin Road this Sunday. That's right, repping Rochester, Stick, Maz, and more. We'll be down there to break down the Lions v. Ravens game as soon as it is over. So slide on out to Hamlin Pub. They got the game day specials, all NFL game day, started just $8. They got the wings, all that stuff. Everything you need to enjoy football, including Woodward Sports, is at Hamlin Pub this Sunday.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Neal Rhul here for Academy of Warren with kindergarten through 8th grade. That features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Hope Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and kindergarten through 8th grade athletics in a state-of-the-art sports dome with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can be used for 7-on-7 football. Go to academyofwarren.net. Take a look around. Still time to slide in there, everybody. academyofwarren.net. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul, Darren McCarty, BMG, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter as well. Happy you guys are with us. And we're talking Lions, obviously. We'll be live at Dispo in Romeo tomorrow. And we made the executive decision, Spencer Raxter and I did. When we are live at Dispo, we will change it from Big Package Friday to Big Bag Friday.
Ooh, nice.
We will have multiple big bags that we will put out there on the table for everyone to consume. Is that fair?
That is fair.
All right, we got it. We are going to have it locked down tomorrow. But we're talking Ravens, Lions, and I do want to get into it a little bit. And I have a simple question for everybody. Just a very, very basic question. And you can interpret it the way you want, and you can say whatever you want about it. But how about this? What do you got, D-Mac?
I love the name Vitriolic Card. It says big bags. That's what Flannel has on his chin.
All right. Jimmy V texted in, says, I support Big D Energy and I'm now protesting the morning show. What happened? Did I miss something?
No, he's just bitter at Flannel.
For general buffoonery?
Just general buffoonery.
Flannel had himself a day.
Douche in the dork in the morning.
Douche in the dork in the morning. Jeff Iafrate, you better be careful, man. Better be careful.
I give Jeff credit, though. He was trying to tell Sam that we're not talking about individual statues. We're talking about moments.
Okay.
Going back to that conversation, but just... Yeah, but control your guy, Jeff. Control your guy.
What the fuck? All right. Exactly. That'll never not be funny. But getting back to it, Ravens, Lions. A basic question. And I want to go around the room, and I want to go around the chat room. So subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Goff versus Lamar.
I'm the wrong guy because they don't play each other. It's Goff versus the Ravens defense and whoever you want to, whoever their top guy is or whatever else, and our defense versus Lamar. Right? If you want to say Jack Campbell, middle linebacker, containing Lamar, which I see a lot in people in the chat saying, it's just sort of going to be his coming out party, and other people saying, well, I hope you're right. But it's just defense, right? It's Anzalone. The way that Anzalone's played the last game and sort of played this year, and in showing, that speed on the linebacker position, he's going to be an integral part of this game too. So to me, yes, I know it's quarterback versus quarterback, but it really isn't, right? So I just the one thing is make Lamar beat you with his arm, and I think that. Our defense is going into this game is right where I like them, where they need to be, but they got to, make it tough on him. So I don't buy into Goff versus Lamar sort of things. It's versus that defense, the toughest defense that Goff's going to face. So he's got to go out and be, and again, player of the week this week, with 2 tutties, 356. Doesn't have to win Player of the Week, but he's got to be probably top 3 in order for us to win.
And that is where it is at. What about you, Spenmo Rax? Goff versus Lamar.
I mean, you look at it as of so far this season, what we've given, Jared Goff has been the better quarterback so far this season. So obviously Lamar, as a career total, I'd take him. He is more dynamic athlete. He's more dynamic player. But so far this season, it's been Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been the better quarterback.
What about this game? I'm talking about this game.
This game, it's tough, man.
It is tough.
This is going to be a game that would favor Lamar. It's going to be a defensive battle. It's supposed to be windy, so him to be able to run around will be an added benefit because I don't think either team will be too pass heavy if it's supposed to be 15, 20 plus mile per hour winds in Baltimore. But man, this is a tough one. This is a pick 'em.
And I'm with you on. I think it is a literal coin flip. And BMG, Goff versus Lamar this weekend, this game.
I still have more confidence in Goff than Lamar, especially after last week and the way he closed that game out. I still don't have that much confidence in Lamar Jackson throwing the ball. I still really haven't seen it consistently throughout this year. And with the way the Lions defense is playing, I don't know. I'm still trusting Goff. He looks very, very good right now. I'm going Goff.
Lamar Jackson at a 70% completion percentage clip right now. Mm-hmm. Because what worries me is I feel like we're sleeping, and I know the Lions aren't, but like just where we're headed, I don't want to see bad things happen to us. I want people to be happy. What I think we may be walking into is we're going by what we believe to be true, like with Lamar Jackson. Like, you can chop it up any way you want. Dude's completing 70% of his passes right now.
For sure.
And as you said, he's a dynamic athlete. Mm-hmm. That is unquestioned. You cannot question that. It's just, for me, you parlay all these things, right? The Craig Reynolds and the running back situation and your second consecutive role. I mean, do we expect, for real, and you guys know how I do this, like I'm going to work backward. Do we expect the Lions to be 9-0 on the road? No. So it stands to reason they are going to have to lose a game somewhere.
Well, you said it yesterday, Neal, right? The Baltimore road game, the San Diego road game, right? Where you had it going in, we were thinking you're going to be healthy. It was one of these two games. You originally had San Diego be prepared for that game. Yesterday, you said, whoa, with the way the injuries are and the way the league is and everything like that, you're changing. The way San Diego is that you said the San Diego game is now the Baltimore game. So just be prepared for it. Be prepared for you're on the road, the refs, the call, the this, that, the other thing. Just being prepared. Now, is there a pathway to win? Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. But it's not the end of the world if you don't win this game. And here's the luxury. You set yourself up that if you misstep and lose this game, you're still in control of your destiny.
And that's what I'm taking into this.
And that's the difference. That is the difference when you've taken, and that's why it's so important to take care of your home games. That's why it's so important that they got that game back by going to beat Tampa, so that Seattle game at home loss doesn't mean anything. You can't trade that off throughout the season, but you're in a good spot regardless. Now, still go out and win the game, and it doesn't matter to those guys. They're not talking like this at Ford Field right now.
No, absolutely
it's just the fan base. They're going out there and going to put the best possible game because they believe they got to win.
No question. Keith says this is a trap game because of the Ravens' strong defense and the Lions' run game.
It's not a trap game.
They are first in the division.
Yeah, you're going up against a great team that's going to be
with
in
a former league MVP as quarterback.
Former league MVP, Super Bowl winning head coach, one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Pound for pound, one of the best organizations in football for a long run.
It's not a trap game. You're playing a great team on the road.
Yeah, again, this isn't a Michigan football schedule. You don't get to play Indiana 3 times.
Yeah.
At some point, you do have to play
And
somebody.
here's the thing. I'm stoked, not scared, because it's another great test for guys to step up, right? This is for your role players to play a big part. Now, your stars got to be your stars that are in there, but it's time for other guys to step up, right? Because what is the one thing you've said all along? Brad Holmes has drafted guys that can play in this league. So, next man up mentality. So,
I like that the people got on you about the San Diego thing, and you fire right back, and you say they'll always be San
always
Diego.
San
And
Diego
you've been consistent. You have never not called them San Diego.
That's it.
I like that.
Because
I'm here
then
for
I go,
that.
the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams. Which Los Angeles team talking about? No, the Chargers. That's out of respect for our councilman.
San
Close here.
Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego. Yeah, so
Which is German.
Wanging it, spanging it, spanging it, spanging it.
hey, I
slamming
can
it,
guarantee
slamming it,
this:
slamming
when I say San Diego, they know who I'm talking about.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it right there. And so, Ernie says, "Come on, say it. You're scared, not stoked." Ernie, see, here's the flip. Okay, here's the heel turn on it all. Because I think if you had to make me bet my mortgage payment for this month on this game, I would probably lean Baltimore. But Ernie, here's the thing. Here's the beauty in all this. And DMAC kind of unlocked it. And here's where it all changes. The fact that where they sit right now makes it fine. For real, if it goes down that way, say it goes bad, say they get cooked, I'm cool. The Sunday's not ruined. I like my spot, to quote a good friend of mine. I'm cool with it. I am cool with it. I take peace in the fact of the way the organization is now. For real, I do. I can take it and just keep it pushing on Sunday. I can deal with it. It's fine because we still got everything in front of us. You played at Baltimore, you lost. Hey, the 1991 Lions team was the greatest Lions team of my life. Twice in that season, they got murdered in games. The opening week against Washington, they didn't have Barry Sanders. They lost 45-3. About the middle of the year, they played at San Francisco. They lost 35-3. It happens. And it happened. When does it happen, DMAC? It happens on the road. Happens against good teams on the road. There's no... Again, it's not being scared, not stoked. It's having a confidence about it. It's having the chair in the game that we have right now. That's what it is. I'm cool with it.
No matter what, after this weekend, you're still the boss. You're still leading your division.
You're still the boss.
Control your destiny, right?
You're still the boss.
But again, here's the flip side to that. When you can go and win a game like this and put that W, think about how far ahead it puts you, especially with guys that are injured, with guys that you don't have, you're not at your full capacity, and you can go out and do that. That's the narrative. That's the rallying cry this week and Ford Field. And you nailed it, Neal, as far as it's what you've set yourself up for. It's you've opening new doors that you haven't been able to access in the past.
Because the calendar flips to November. You got that game, that Monday night game on October 30th. The calendar flips to November and shit's real now. You know what I'm saying?
And it's real with what? Arguably the softest schedule?
And it's real with this, DMAC. I haven't heard anybody talk about this. And it's real with what? One game in 20 days? After the Ravens game?
Talking about getting guys healthy.
You got after the Ravens game is over, you got your build up to Monday Night Football. Then you have your bye week, and then you go into the next week for the game against the San Diego Chargers in LA. I don't know why they're going to play it in LA, but they are. Hey, we talked about it live at Hamlin Pub, the Detroit Lions post-game show.
Maz.
Our guy Maz popping the collar with the bracelet on. That's a Jersey thing, everybody. Stick in the house as well. And again, they'll be live at Hamlin Pub off Tekken Road in Rochester. Special guest as well. Be on hand. Be live for all of the hijinks from the Woodward Sports Detroit Lions post-game show. We are doing it better than anybody when it comes to Lions game day.
And if you want to do it better for your pet, all you got to do is go to Premier Pet Supply. When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Hey, here.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew this weekend for our Michigan State, and Lions watch-along party featuring different special guests and surprises. Tune in on Saturday and Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at game time.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whip of the first playoff win in 31 years. A gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. It is so smooth. Trust me, it is. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Use the code word Woodward Glorious. www.gloriouscanna.com.
Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul and Darren McCarty and Mike Gentry and Spencer Raxter motoring towards our number 2, talking Lions Ravens. I asked the questions, or the question, Goff versus Lamar Jackson, ... Your thoughts? I think Spenmo and I are kind of in a similar, we're in a similar headspace right now with the game. DNC ENT, if I had to put my mortgage on it, it would be on the Lions, only because I don't bet teams coming home from London. Here's a little tidbit on that, by the way. So when you play in London, you have the option of getting your bye the following week. And the Ravens said no. The schedule's already made. Like the Ravens said no, we're good, we'll play. So just kind of think about that, DNC ENT.
Baltimore gave us the wire, so they're cool and leopard.
Yes, that is true. That is
Best
true.
show of all time.
I was about to say,
Nate W. Neal, is this a similar game to Week 1 where if they lose, it doesn't mean much in the grand scheme, but if they win, it makes a statement to the rest of the NFL? Nate W., thank you.
Yeah.
That is exactly the vibe.
Yeah.
Now, it's not Thursday night, Week 1. Everyone's been starved for NFL football, so everybody in the world, I'm going to be on an airplane with 115 people watching it on the airplane I'm on. No, it's not going to be that, but it's that light.
No, dude, you know what it is? To that point, that Kansas City game to whatever thing was for the recreational, for the whole world to see,
Right.
and the statement that you can make. This win here is for all the pseudo next level, right? If you do the, the iceberg, right? This is like level 2 of the iceberg where you look deep down, where we're going to look, the football people or people who love the game are going to look at each other, Neal, and go, man, this is even more real, right? This is just laying the stamp of approval, even more of what we already think we know, right? We win this game, we're coming out of there knowing stuff, because look at how we're winning the games.
Right.
We're not winning it, right, with all of our guys and all of our guys healthy. We're doing it by committee at some certain point where different guys have to step up at different times.
And D-Mac,
It's such a beautiful thing because you're going through the adversity and we don't see it because we're enjoying it because they're winning, but it could be so much worse than it is, but it just goes to show you the depth of this organization and how it's going to continue to go. So it's a next level win, right? It puts that stamp of approval.
And D-Mac, you made something pop in my head right there. Go through this season with the Lions so far. In all the games they've won, they've got a lot of Tupac wins, right? How do you want it?
How do you want it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, Goff had to go off
it?
last week. Had to. There was no, your running back had 10 carries for 15 yards. The running game was gone. Goff had to. Did it. Took a second to figure out the lay of the land, but went and did it. You had a game
You
where
know what he did so well, though? Right? At no other point. And I'm sitting there and I remember watching it with Spenny. Is the most impressive thing for me was when there was a broken play and he knew it right away. Boom. That's got to be so frustrating for a defense when you sniffed out the play, you schemed it right. It's supposed to be a sack, and boom, he makes a smart play, and you lose it down, and that's it. You don't get him touched. You don't get anything.
Well, that's a guy that's been through the battles before. That's a guy that's been to a Super Bowl before. That's a guy that's played for winning teams,
That's
too.
a guy that's been in those positions and failed. Now he knows what to do to succeed. That's the guy that I want behind.
Again, I'll always put it out there and ask you the question. When you were a rookie, second-year player in the league, and something didn't go your way, what's your natural reaction? To try to correct the mistake and make a play, maybe overextend yourself and squeeze something out. Goff, it's pre-wired. It's not there. Boom, play's over. We're done. We'll go to the next play. That's this team. But that's this team. You know, we talked about the Goff thing going off to go win the game in Tampa. Then you rewind it. You go back, David Montgomery single-handedly destroys the Green Bay Packers and runs for 3 touchdowns and 55,000 yards against that soft-ass Green Bay Packers franchise that we own right now. That they're doing, you know, the Lions have taken ownership of Lambeau Field, now are doing renovations in there and getting the furniture the way they want it because it's their house now. And look at the Chiefs game. The defense had to bring them back in that game, and a rookie made a play. That's the identity of the Chiefs game. All these games all have a different DNA to the victory.
Yes.
All of them.
How do you want it?
Name me another team. Like, we look at the Dolphins, right? And you guys know I love me some Tua. Love Tua. I told you guys Tua was good. You didn't want to believe it. Some of you still don't want to believe it.
But, you know, and you look at that Miami, right?
But they do it the same way all the time.
But your example, right? What did Miami do? They went into Buffalo and threw up a stinker again and then come back last week and put 42 on the board. Like, nope. You know, it's one of those games.
Because you can't do that in this league 17 times in a row.
Impossible.
You can't. So, like, again, but when Miami wins a game, it has the same DNA to it. It's Tyreek with a $150. It's Waddle with 100. It's Tua 29 for 31 for 320 and 3 touchdowns. And then Sam Flannel on Monday saying, I just don't see it with Tua. You know, like that's the DNA of a Dolphins win. Like the Chargers, what's the DNA of their losses?
Here's another
Everything
imperative.
happens all at once.
Exactly.
Everything goes wrong all at once.
All at once.
Yeah.
And there's one guy in the center, and then it's Sam Flannel saying, I really think Herbert's a good quarterback.
That's like how the Lions are kind of built like the 49ers, where you have these guys on the 49ers that one game, Kittle might not have a big game. One game, Debo might only touch the ball once, but they're still going to win by 20 because they got different guys that can do so many different things, and Shanahan is such a wizard to use those guys like he does. That's how Ben Johnson is. You have so many different weapons on this team. Ben Johnson is such a wizard to get all those guys involved that some people might not touch the ball, but they'll still win by 10 points.
Here's another non-negotiable, right? And Eric Lynn nailed it too, right? Where we said turnovers and taking care of the ball and stuff like that. But it's the game management of Dan Campbell, right? Look at the way that I thought that the game that he called as far as like challenges, timeouts, punting, fourth down, and whatever against Tampa Bay was one of the best games that he stayed out of his way. That's what he's got to do. We can't, give them extra possessions and stuff like this, but the coaching staff's got to be consistent.
Yeah, and I heard a lot of people talk about that, and at a baseline, I certainly do agree with that. But Dan Campbell plays the man, not the cards. You know what I'm saying? Like the lay of the land that day is how Dan Campbell
which
coaches.
I think the lay of the land, right, is going to be the possession game, the field position game.
Right. So whereas like when you're in Kansas City, you got to steal a possession or
points,
two.
yeah.
You got to steal a possession, man. Like that's
so
just the way that
whatever
it goes.
that making the continue to, whether it's going for it or not, right? It's making the right decision. It's
Correct.
making the correct decision depending on what it is. Now, Lamar, I fear Lamar more of being able to go 80 or 90 yards against us than Baker Mayfield last week. But again, I'd still like to see Lamar have to go 90 yards.
40 Gumble, Neal, this could be the game we realize what JMO over the top and Gibbs underneath looks like. And certainly that is a wild card. Of course it is. And, you know, it was funny. We joked earlier about Jamison Williams sounding the horn at the Red Wings game. BMG, you were down there. Did that not look like a man that had the weight of the world lifted off his shoulders?
Oh, yeah. He looked so happy.
It
was just awesome to see, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see. And hopefully he keeps that confidence moving forward. Brings it on the field with him, too. It's just good to see the whole city rally behind him.
That is what I liked about it. Andrew Klingerman, anybody looks good when your wide receivers are always open, and then it slid off on me. I think it was going to be a Tua slander text. But, you know, especially, though, when that quarterback drops it in the breadbasket over the defender's face mask into the receiver's chest. That kind of helps everybody look good, too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It certainly does. Hey, Woodward Nights, that looks good.
Yes, it does.
Every night here on the Woodward Sports Network, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Booner and Broder, two of the young bucks, the up-and-comers in the Detroit sports media market, will be taking it to the streets at night. Nighttime is the right time.
Nighttime.
For Woodward Nights, Booner and Broder, 8 to 10 on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Planet Fitness, we were back at it today, everybody. We got back on the horse today. Finally, the leg stopped barking, and we got in there. Nice little 5K, you know, nothing, you know, just a nice little 3 miles out there, just to fire the engine back up.
Just cruising.
Just a little light weightlifting, too. We'd been off the weightlifting for a minute, you know, because of the marathon training, but we'll circle back. And, you know, we were talking about doing the mini triathlon next year. That might be the thing we do in the summer. Guess where I'll be training for it? Right here at Planet Fitness. $1 down, $10 a month. Access to your home club.
Savage.
Black card member, $24.99 a month. That's what I do. I go to every Planet Fitness. Wherever I'm traveling across the country, there's always a Planet Fitness there. Wherever we go around the Detroit area, there's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit alone. Guys, bottom line, Planet Fitness, my favorite gym. I'll never be a member at another gym. I will always be at Planet Fitness for the rest of my fitness career, I guess you could say. Pull in the parking lot, join there. Go to planetfitness.com because it's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
In the nighttime.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew this weekend for our Michigan State and Lions watch-along party featuring different special guests and surprises. Tune in on Saturday and Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at game time.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equip Co., official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, SnowX plows, and salters. Outdoor Equip Co. has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% finance and delivery to your doorstep. Just give OutdoorEquipCo.com your business today. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show. Missed the first hour of Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. Rewind, fast forward, do all that. Take it on the go with you. Bluetooth it in your car, whatever you got to do.
5-star.
And if you're going to rate it, how many stars, Spenny?
5 stars.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4.
7, not 8. 5 stars.
Fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fifth. I plead the fifth.
Whatever you say to me.
The fizzizzle.
Go ahead and ask me a question.
Fifth. There are so many numbers. But my favorite is only one.
There can only be one. I plead the fifth. 5.
Oh, man, that was pretty good. But Neal Rhul, Darren McCarty, Big Mike Gentry, Spencer Raxter, all of you. And, we're just chopping it up. Get your thoughts out there. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel, Jay Singles. I saw a new stat for Sam Flannel. Justin Herbert has 14 interceptions in the fourth quarter of one-score games. Interesting.
Is that true? Is that factual?
I believe it to be, yeah.
Wow.
Joe Leo, is this the week we might finally see a big game from Gibbs, though? And I got the feeling if the Lions do win this, right, he's due in the rotation. Like I talked about the how do you want it wins. Well, right now, it's his turn.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was going to bet anytime touchdown, it would be him. He's due.
That'd be a good one.
And especially, the proof's in the pudding. You would think that you would have him prominent in the game plan with Montgomery out and as depleted in the backfield.
The Lamar thing. All right, let's have the discussion, D-Mac. You've been concerned about it.
And Sam says Herbert also has 14 game-winning drives in his career, which makes sense because 14 interceptions in the fourth, 14 career,
losses that he created. Yeah.
He's a 500 quarterback with a regular, right?
Oh, yeah. You wanted the Mel Kiper on
do
it?
the Mel Kiper because he's got his interceptions to his touchdowns with his comebacks.
Sam Flannel is correct. When you look at Justin Herbert, he's a guy. Yes, he has 14 game-winning drives, but he also has 14 interceptions in the fourth quarter of one-score games, so it stands to lose it stands to gain that he's going to lose those games because he is Justin Herbert. For every 14 wins he gets 14 losses, and that's the way that it always seems to work with the guy. Those are the questions you're going to have about Justin Herbert.
King 500. He's a King 500.
Let him cook. Stripper DJ.
Now stripper DJ, that's right. Well, that's right. When Justin Herbert's come down the field in the fourth quarter, he's going to throw an interception with the game on the line. And for all of those 14, for the next 14 songs in honor of Justin Herbert's 14 fourth quarter one-score game interceptions, we're doing $5 Jaeger bombs for the next 14 songs. That's right, $5 Jaeger bombs. And with that being said, the storm clouds are forming. Coming to the stage, it's rain.
$5 Jaeger bombs for his 500 record. I love it. Nicely done. We got a clip. That's got to be a clip for TikTok.
Yeah.
You are a talented man.
Oh, thank you. You're
talking about Neal. I thought you meant rain. She was good.
Next in the fourth quarter, it's rain, Dakota. So that is fun. I was a club DJ for a couple of years.
Hell yeah.
Way back in the early 20s.
That's what it's all about.
In the early 20s?
When I was in my early 20s.
Just a few years ago.
Yeah, when I was in my early 20s.
In your 20s,
I did do that.
Not in the 2020s. Okay.
Robert Colosia, Neal's going to retire to a strip joint. I mean, there's worse gigs.
Hey, there's a lot of things in Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say, retire to Florida? You can,
That sounds like a plan.
That would be a great gig.
It would be. They pay you in cash every night.
Yeah.
I could probably file for unemployment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, BMG, you like it? What's wrong with this plan?
It's a good plan.
There are no holes in that plan. Well, there are. But there are no bad things about that plan.
He's got his retirement plan, boys. 30 years from now.
Colosia. I'll have Colosia broker that deal. Maybe I will. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Options.
I've got a lot of them lined up.
Options,
for sure.
Options. Yeah.
Coming up next to the stage, it's America's favorite import. It's Porsche. Huh?
Because you could go for Mercedes and all the rest of them.
Coming up next to the stage, it's not sugar and spice, but she's everything nice. It's cinnamon. Huh?
I'm having flashbacks. I think I've actually seen these ones perform. Back in the day.
D-Mac remembers cinnamon.
I was just going to say.
You could do Chesty Malone's reunion tour.
Yeah.
There it is.
Get Terry in here. Let's get it done.
Oh, man.
Mike G, can you announce Chesty Malone to the stage? No, I certainly would. She signs off on all of her.
Oh, yeah.
She's a self-running enterprise.
For sure.
You don't get to do anything. Alexis, yeah. No, I know, guys. I know. We have them lined up. Now, what the hell were we doing, dude?
I don't know.
Forward down the field.
No, D-Mac, like, people are now, they want to talk about a Black Santa revival tour. We will bring, I promise you guys, we will bring Terry Foster in over the holidays to talk Black Santa.
Black Santa's a legend.
To this
I don't
day.
think I've ever laughed harder.
No, I'm talking like in regular life with my friends, hanging out with the guys.
Oh, yeah.
Anything, your kids. I have never laughed harder than when we did Black Santa.
That was one of the funniest moments ever.
Black Santa at the Northland Mall.
Skinny Black Santa.
Skinny Black Santa. Remember Terry Dirty Dr. D, best show ever. Terry would explain why the presents always come late.
Yeah.
You know. Why you always smell the Newports?
Yeah.
All right, get it together,
That's
everybody.
That's an all-time bit.
If you're new to the show,
if you didn't get to experience Black Santa,
make sure you tap in at the holidays with Black Santa. Do it. Now people putting it out there.
Blana.
Greg Rounds, I would take another year of Alavila for another Black Santa segment. That's aggressive.
That is aggressive.
That's aggressive. What about would you have Brad Holmes skip a draft for a Black Santa segment? That's the bridge too far.
That's too much. I'll have him skip a round. He can skip like the 4th round.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's fair, but it's Black Santa.
That is true, I guess. That is true. But no, we were talking about it. We were talking Lions. We were talking Ravens, and I've got an uneasy feeling about it, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And number one's the schedule thing. Number two, the Ravens, they're a first-place team as well. Tough football team. It's so hard. It's just so hard to ask. And Spenny, look, you're a Goff truther. But even you can agree. Would even Easy agree with this? It's an almost impossible ask in this league to tell your quarterback, hey, I'm going to give you 50 yards rushing. Go throw for 350 and multiple scores.
Yeah.
Back-to-back road games. Like, that's not...
Not a lot of guys are going to do that. The elite of the elite do that. And it's...
But do they really? Like, you start chopping it up, man. Mahomes has 3 stinkers a year.
Yeah. For sure, it's true, and like I said, I'm not gonna pile on Goff. If they lose this game and he doesn't look good, because he's in a tough spot. This is gonna be a tough matchup for sure.
Yes, Luwe MF. He's not a Goff truther anymore. He killed his hate for Goff. Spenny was baptized.
I was purified in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
You were. D-Mac held his head and just dropped him down in there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then pulled him back up. And BMG had a towel and gave him the white linen towel.
I'm not a gawker. I'm not a Goff gawker yet, but I'm a believer.
You believe.
I like it. He believes.
He does. He believes, man. He absolutely believes. So, it is. It's just, it's such a huge ask, man. It's a huge ask for Jared Goff. They are expected to get a couple of players back. And, obviously in Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch. But when we come back, here's a topic I want to do. Because I came clean and talked about, even if they did lose this game, I'm happy with where they're at. I love their spot, even with the loss. So now that we're a good franchise, now that we mock the other poors of the league, the other, the Bears of the league,
the
have-nots,
yeah.
Those putrid franchises that we pass on the street and don't give them money for food.
No.
We tell them, hey, Chicago Bears, get a job.
Yeah, how much $1 cost?
Yeah, get a job. We do that. So now we can, I think it's safe with the Lions playing the Ravens this week. I think it's safe we can look back. We'll get Dan Campbell's thoughts on the field goal that bounced off the crossbar. And I'll have another question for everybody out there. Tell them about Swiss Insurance.
Absolutely. It's football season. We all know it. Football's on the brain. It's been great. College, pro, whatever it is. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for our friend Mark at Swiss Insurance today. SwissINS.com or call Mark 248-800-4177.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Looking for the coolest Detroit sports wearables? Easy. WoodwardSports.com/shop. The Stoke Not Scared shirt should be the centerpiece of your wardrobe right now. Go to WoodwardSports.com/shop. Basketball, football, baseball, hockey. There's a Woodward Sports golf line out there as well. WoodwardSports.com/shop. The very best in Detroit sports wearables. Keeping it pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul and Darren McCarty and Spencer Raxter, and of course BMG, Big Mike Gentry.
Big Mike Gentry.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, jump into there. Like Shad216, Spenny will go to the Church of Golf, but he won't contribute to the pan when it's passed around. Is that fair?
That is fair.
You're not putting a $1 bill in there.
I'm not putting in the offering plate.
But you're there.
I might take out of the offering plate.
You'll put a 10 in there and take out 14?
Yeah.
Say, I had to get changed.
Yeah.
Hey, Neal.
Yes.
DNCENT brings up a great stat. We are 52 weeks, a year removed from Sheila's frustrated with 1 and 5, but I believe in the process interview that she did. We are 365, arguably, days from that. I mean, I'll say it again. I want her to come out. I want her to get a round of, so they get an announcer during the game just so she can deserve and get her flowers that we all want to give her. I think, is there anybody here not wanting to give Sheila Fordham her flowers right now? And
you know what, D-Mac, to take that one a step further, look at all the lines we've been given by GMs, not just of the Lions, but in totality. Al Avila, the owner of the Tigers coming out, the rebuild's over. Just all across sports. Who's ever come out and called their shot before and delivered? And you can say it's luck. You can, whatever you want to say. In sports, it does not matter. The scoreboard is the truth teller. She delivered. And D-Mac, you're right. Like, they should. Here's how you do that. And if I were working PR for the Lions, I would honor somebody from the past, maybe like the last division-winning team or something. And I would have Sheila introduce them, but I would have someone introduce Sheila.
Oh, absolutely. Right, exactly. Have somebody introduce her to introduce somebody else.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
You see me working there, D-Mac?
No, that's the way that it should be, because then it's sort of organic, where the focus ain't, we're not honoring this.
But we are.
But I think that, like, for all of us, being a year out, it is time. And, you know, Spenny, I think that a poll would be 95% or more about, you know, who thinks it's time to give Sheila her flowers, you know, a year after coming out and sticking with this regime in the process.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it has to come from. At the end of the day, we talk about our GMs and all these teams, but it's the ownership. It has to come from the ownership to strike that match.
I would agree.
And she has. So, I mean, hats off. I didn't know it was a year, but look at all that's happened in a year. Look at the record of the team. You know, since she's come out and said
Can't
that.
argue it.
Can't argue it.
Can't argue it. But yeah, before we went to the break, we kind of teased this. Somebody in the media asked Dan Campbell about the Ravens game. Now, you guys remember it. Justin Tucker hit a 160-yard field goal that bounced off the crossbar and went through to beat the Lions. And Lions fans everywhere, me included, I remember saying these exact words as it happened. Now, I had been conditioned, so it didn't, like, I didn't get upset. There was no video of me kicking my television or anything like that. Because you guys know, because you've been through it too. And I've described this before. Me with the Lions, it was like a probation term. 1 to 4 on Sunday. I got to go serve my time, and I look forward to it being over, and then I can go about my day. But I show up. I put the ankle bracelet on, and I sit there from 1 to 4, and I watch it, and it's over. So when that move happened, when that field goal bounced off the crossbar, I had built up this scabbing, this callus, to where I could just turn around and go to the grocery store. It was part of my Sunday. But somebody asked Dan Campbell about that, and he had this to say.
Look, we're still early in this season. There's a ton of game left. We got to go earn another one here. But I know this is that when you look back and, I just remember thinking over and over, it's like, enjoy it now, just enjoy it now. And because our time will come, and we just got to get through the hard stuff. And, and here we go, man. We got an opportunity. We're in year 3 of this program. We're 5-1, and we got to go earn the next win. So everything that happens for a reason, and it helps you grow. And if it doesn't, it's because you don't know how to grow. So we've taken our lumps, and we're going to be better for it.
And Dan Campbell, basically he sums it up. He said we learn from it. Now, D-Mac, before we went to the break, I said now that we've arrived, now that they have the NFC North wrapped up, because in my mind they do. You're barring catastrophic whatever. With that being said, D-Mac, now we get to point at other franchises. As Coquet said, get a job, you bum. Hey, Carolina Panthers, get a job. Chicago Bears, get a job, you bums. Now we get to say that. So, D-Mac, I think now, he's talked about it. They've grown since it. What's your favorite way the Lions lost a game back when they were a bad team?
Well, the one that I knew that it was like sort of SOL still was the Calvin catch. Calvin in Chicago in the end zone, complete the process down to the ground, touchdown, and when they overturned that or whatever like that, because of the execution on it, right? So that one sits in my crawl. The one with here's the one thing where you look at blessings in disguise. The Justin Tucker field goal is a blessing in disguise, right? I used the analogy before. If you play poker, right, and you've been 1-outed or 2-outed, what does that mean? Say I got a pair of kings and Neal's got a pair of queens, right? There's only 2 more queens. There's 4 queens in a deck. There's only 2 more queens that he can get to beat me, for lack of a better term.
Out of 40 cards, yeah.
Out of the rest of the cards in the deck, and he hits one of his queens. That's called a 2-outer, right? Which happens in poker. It happens in football. You don't expect a team to set a record field goal, but it is Justin Tucker, who we all agree is one of the greatest kickers of all time in this game, so why not? It just seemed if everything had it coming. The biggest thing is, where do you put that? And as disappointed as it was, they let it fuel them instead of let it get to them. Because you look at their record since then and what they've done because of it, what I see is they don't take anything for granted. And so to me, the biggest disappointment was the ruling on the Calvin catch in Chicago to the ground. Like, that one just, come on. That was my come on moment. So this one, here's the kicker, if everybody remembers, on this kick is the fact that it had to hit the crossbar
to go
and kick
over.
in there. Right? It can go either way.
Yeah.
Right? Where we see that, and it goes in. But I think that, again, it was a blessing in disguise that it can't get any worse, but we can't take anything for granted.
What about you, Spenmo? What was your favorite one?
The Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary is always one that stands out, especially coming off the Phantom face mask call.
Yeah.
But in line with the, complete the process of the catch, something that nobody had ever heard about in the
and
NFL
still have never
before
got resolution
and still
on.
Don't know. Another one, the Golden Tate 10-second runoff versus Atlanta at home, which is another thing that nobody had heard of until it happened against the Lions, where the worst part is it was the fucking officials' fault. They called it a touchdown, and then they reviewed it and said it wasn't a touchdown. They're like, 10-second runoff, sorry, game's over. So, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? We should have it at the 1-yard line. But no, that one sucks.
That one broke my son. That was my son's first introduction to being a Lions fan. That made him tear up. That one did. I said, hey, kid, get used to it. BMG, what was your favorite way they lost a game?
Mine was the Aaron Rodgers one, and I was actually at that game. I was given tickets for my birthday the week before, and then that happened.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Shane Daniel says, mine was choosing to take the Wind in overtime. That game in Chicago.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't hate that one. Like
It's so stupid.
There's so many.
I know, but if it works, it's legendary.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. And of course, Lou Way MF says the Dallas playoff game where they picked up the flag. They called the penalty. Mm-hmm. And then they picked up the flag. That one was the worst. That was a playoff game.
The most egregious.
That one was. That was where I felt most powerless.
You want to hear something terrible? That he could be the only person that this happened to, like, in the world. There's probably a couple more, but my boy Mustache, the same year, he was at the Trouble with the Snap game. We were there. He's a Michigan fan. We were at the Trouble with the Snap game. He was at the Rodgers Hail Mary. I think it was Thanksgiving or right around there.
Keep this man out of the city.
Put your boy in a box, bro.
He was in Seattle for the game. The KJ Wright bat the ball out of the end zone. All 3 games he was at.
Hey, you know what?
Keep him away.
Guess who's not allowed at the viewing party? Don't let him know we do a stream.
That's fair.
All right.
That's my guy, though.
Yeah, shout out to Mustache.
Shout out Mustache.
Michael Daniels got an old one. Eddie Murray's missed field goal against San Francisco. I think that's an 82 playoffs. You got the coach Monty Clark's praying over there, and the field goal just takes a boomerang swing to the left. Like, it was.
What about the Sterling Sharp one?
The Sterling Sharp one was grim. You know what? Here's my favorite one, though. And obviously I wasn't alive to see it, but it's so on brand. The year that I think it was 72-73, they lost to the Cowboys in the playoffs 5-0.
Yeah.
Who loses a game 5-0? Let alone a playoff game. 5-0.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And then the one that you want to know one that made me angry, not to the pass interference one. The year they played the Titans on Thanksgiving. And they were awful. The Lions were awful then. But that we were in like the height of the housing recession and all that stuff. We were going through it, man. You remember those times. And it's a Thanksgiving Day game, and the Titans, and remember Lendale White? Who was their other running back they had? It was Lendale White, and was it Chris Johnson?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. CJ2K.
CJ2K.
He was good in Madden.
Mm-hmm.
They both ran for 100 yards in like the first half. They got absolutely obliterated. And like the pregame show was about, hey, Detroit's going through it right now, man, with like the housing, everybody lost all their equity and everything like that. And they went out there and they played like that, lost like 44-3 or whatever that number was. I was legit pissed. I was doing college radio that next day. And that was the first time ever where I was fired up, like like you've seen me lose it before.
Yeah.
I lost it that day, dude. I was so pissed at that effort, man. So pissed.
What about the college football live stream?
What about it?
Or pregame. College football pregame.
Oh, you want to do the pregame on me,
Yeah,
huh?
we'll do the pregame.
All right, let's do the pregame then. It's time for the Great Divide. It's that game that splits the state of Michigan in half. Go green, go blue. Does Harbaugh notch another win, or is MSU coming after Big Blue? It's the Woodward Sports for the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel, Easy, and many more will get you pumped up for the Great Divide game this Saturday, 6 o'clock, right here, Woodward Sports Network. I'm going to watch. So here's the deal. I'm going to be working. Like, I'll be doing television for Detroit City FC. I will be turning that on in the background because I have Spencer Raxter plus 160 to crack.
Okay. That's fair.
To crack.
Plus 160.
You can only take so much.
Yeah, I think I'm going to crack during the live stream, though, not the pregame.
He won't crack the pregame. He'll crack during the live stream because once he gets to that level of once that one cocktail hits him where he's like, he knows, okay, this one, and then I can't control whatever else because he's going to get to that point. I'm going to see, I won't be here. I'll be doing the Eloise Asylum, which is a whole other story this weekend. But I can just picture you, Spenny, in the kitchen sitting around. You got your shooter. You got your drink. You're going to take it. Then you're going to come in and you're going to sit here and it's going to go probably middle of the second quarter.
You think so?
Well, just because Michigan doesn't get off to a great start.
Well, but the Michigan fans, right? Because they'll start chirping it once
How can
they
chirp
shake
any
off
harder
that start.
than what they do right now? I'm just saying that once Spenny lets the inhibitions go, right, and lets the alcohol.
It's a chemical thing
It's
as
a
much as it is
where
anything
he's
else.
going to have control, but this is the self-awareness that he knows. When he's ready to go into battle, he's going to put on his gear, go to war.
Yep.
You'll know it.
Nick Hedingen had a good one. The 2000 Chicago Bears game, that loss sank the Lions for 2 decades. The Edinger field goal when they were going to go to the playoffs, and Herman Moore was all alone in the end zone and couldn't see the ball because of the lights. And
somebody mentioned the Matt Flynn 6 tutty game.
That one was more comical, though.
Didn't it have repercussions for us?
No, it had positive repercussions for Matt Flynn. He got $45 million off that one game.
That's true.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Thomas Perry says, I will not be tuning in for that slaughter. Well, tune into the pregame show. That'll be fun. Marvin Barr, I love that we're having conversation about how bad upsetting the Lions left us on Sunday afternoons. It's great to see what we have on the field today compared to what we've dealt with. And look, that was the point. That was the point of it, Marvin. Like, that's since we've left that, since we poke fun at other franchises now.
It can't get any worse. Like, we've been through all the worst of the worst. Now it's about enjoying it and knowing that, no matter what, maybe that's just part of, realizing when you have a good football team, all the stuff that we've come through. You got to know where you came from.
Yeah.
And we've come through all of this and persevered, and we're still here to now. And what I loved is Dan Campbell addressing that elephant, saying, now we can laugh about it, because they've used it as a catalyst to pull themselves out.
Yeah, and it is important to know where you've come from, and it's important to know where you're going. Like, if you're hungry, you're going to go to Big Boy because it's burger and chicken
time.
Sandwich time. Yes, they already have the best hamburger in the world with the classic Big Boy. Hey, why don't you give that pretzel bacon cheeseburger a spin? That's got Spencer Raxter written all over it. More of a chicken sandwich kind of person. That's cool. The Dolly chicken sandwich. Or turn up the heat. I love the way he's talking to you. Turn up the heat with the Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich as well. Don't just get regular Justin Herbert fries. Regular. Middle of the road. Mid. Don't just do that with regular fries. Upgrade. That's right. Get chili cheese fries. Or get Tua-style fries. Loaded baked potato or chili cheese fries. And save room for dessert. The Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Or satisfy your sweet tooth with the Big Boy funnel cake fries. Get your local Big Boy today.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew this weekend for our Michigan State, and Lions watch-along party featuring different special guests and surprises. Tune in on Saturday and Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel at game time.
100K Vegas getaway. Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win. Register at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Make sure you go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas to figure out how you could sign up to win.
Keeping it pushing, Big B Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul. And, of course, we have BMG, Spencer Raxter as well. And, oh, yeah, that guy, Darren McCarty. Also, normally we'd be joined by Ryan Palter, the sales director for Feldman Chevrolet. He cannot make it today, but he did send along his pick. So D-Mac and I We will update the standings on the Woodward Sports Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em Cup. I have my picks out there. D-Mac, we will recap last week as well. Let's put Ryan Palter's picks up there on the screen, though, and I'll try to explain them from his perspective. So, Ryan, last week, he did go 2-1. He's up to 5-9-1. He went 2-1, but he lost ground. He's got Wisconsin minus the 2.5, huh?
Yeah.
Who they playing?
I don't know.
Who they playing? I can't remember. He's got the Lions plus the field goal. This is a game that Ryan. You know what you do in this spot, Ryan?
Punt.
You just stay away.
Punt.
You just stay away, Ryan. It's not the spot for the Lions.
If I was going to take that game, I would take Baltimore.
There it is. And he has the Buffalo Bills minus 8.5 against New England.
I think I got that one.
You got
too.
that one, too. I do kind of like that one. Who are they playing?
They play Illinois at home. Illinois is home.
I was going to say it's either Illinois or Minnesota because it's always Illinois or Minnesota. Those are the only two teams over there. So that's who he's got. He's got Wisconsin at Illinois. Illinois coming off the win against Maryland. They're off that hook. I don't like the smell of those, man. I don't like the smell of them. So, but he's 5-9-1. I'm stunned he didn't take Michigan, Spenny.
Yeah.
Maybe because he knew he was coming on, he couldn't take a shot at you.
That's fair.
That's probably why he did that. D-Mac.
Best bet on the board is Michigan.
Darren McCarty.
I took Michigan. Not laying 24. I'm pretty confident with that. I like the Bills because I like to, don't believe in what the Patriots have going on. It's more against them, and Bills need this win. And then who's playing the Rams?
Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers in
LA.
Yeah, in LA at home. I really like the running attack and having Cooper Kupp back. So, yeah. Whatever. What's my record? 9-6.
D-Mac is 9-6. Very respectable. Very solid. It's profitable.
Just cruising along. A lot of I really haven't dialed it in.
You made your move in the middle of the year last year anyway.
That's it. I gotta let everything. But you're cooking, so staying out of your way. You were 3-0 last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All college too.
All college.
Veteran play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you went with an over.
I did.
Wait a sec. Yeah. That can't be real.
Mark me on that one.
Have we ever seen? Has there ever been like a 20 something over?
Not that I've ever seen.
31.5.
Gentry, mark me.
That could be one of the lowest. Is that one of the lowest over-unders you've seen?
It's the lowest one I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never seen one lower than that. That's what makes it.
Come on, 5-0. Let's go.
To recap, I am 11-2-2. We are cooking right now. These two guys went 2-1 last week, and they lost ground because I went 3-0. As Ryan, the ungrateful Ryan Lentz in the back would tell you. Yes, I am going Iowa, Minnesota over 31.5. I will already back this up. Somebody asked me earlier, what was the get right you had for the Michigan State game? Donovan Edwards to score a touchdown. Last I looked, it was plus 110. We have never done this before on this show. We have never done this in the history of the Get Right before. We are releasing 2 Get Right picks this weekend. 2. I don't choose the Get Rights. The Get Rights choose me. And it has spoken to me. The over in the Iowa-Minnesota game. 31.5. Lock it in. I have done this earlier this year. You have profited from it. I fly into the face of conventional wisdom. When you needed something, I gave you Iowa's team total over in Western Michigan. They have to score points. They have to. It's in the offensive coordinator's contract. And what did they do in a 25-point game with 7 seconds to go?
They went for the end zone.
They ran into the end zone, and they scored a touchdown. Just that little extra edge.
Now,
that's all I provide.
Detroit Jabber 313 is inquiring, is this a Get Right parlay?
I cannot condone that. I cannot recommend that.
Okay.
Parlays are in no form or factor part of the Get Right stratosphere because math dictates they are a sucker play.
But if someone was going to sprinkle a little cheese,
I can only give you the picks.
What you do with it is up to you.
What you do with the picks is your business. That's all I can do. That's what we're out there with. Spenny, one more time. Can you throw it up there too?
Yeah, of course.
Because, and again, I had to do it. I didn't want to do it. I don't choose these games. These games choose me. They're not going to go undefeated on the road. It's a tough spot. I'll be happy to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong. I do take the Ravens. And in much the same spot, see, I'm keeping it consistent here. You guys know I'm a Tua guy, and I love the Dolphins. But it's a bad spot. They're going into Philly. There's a ton of questions about Jalen Hurts. When I'm running on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, I see it up there on the graphic. Does Hurts... Hurts has 7 picks this year. He only had 6 all of last year. Is Hurts losing it? You know how this works, D-Mac. You know how it works. They're at home. It's national TV. So I'm taking the Eagles, and I'm laying the field goal. That's the reason. That's the logic.
No, you can't. Look at your record, 11-2-2. You can't argue. And I hope that it's a head-hard bet that you're wrong with the Ravens.
I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong.
I know you do. I do the old head-hard. I looked at that, and you know the only reason I didn't put the Ravens on there is because I think you're going to get middled with if the Lions do lose it's by 1 or 2. It has that 21-20. It has that.
I know.
I didn't want to get middled on because that's what it has. But 11-2-2, bro. We're all chasing you. Congratulations. You got a couple get rights. Big weekend for Neal Rhul.
No, it was. Dan Wood, Neal got us to Brinket in Neal We Trust. I have a track record, and it is proven.
Look I told you, it's like Haley's comment. Every now and then, there's a good point by Brian and Katz. And he said, do you think Hurts will remember being benched for Tua at Alabama? Going into it, you're going up against the guy that replaced you for the national championship. There's got to be something there as an athlete. Yeah. Some juice there. So,
yes.
So that plays into Neal's. Looks like Katz will be stealing that one for his picks, Neal.
Why don't you tell us about the college football live stream?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see if that is the moment we're spent. I think for my money, it's going to be on the pregame show. But hey, what about a watch party? Watch the man break down who doesn't love a good emotional train wreck, Spenny?
It's going to be bad.
See, you were explaining it away, and now even you're conceding.
No, it's going to be bad.
Well, because he knows.
Why would you not want to watch the human condition deteriorate right in front of your eyes? And you can do it with the Woodward Sports Michigan State live game day watch party. 7:30, special guest, surprises. No word if there'll be psychiatric help on scene. We don't know. Hopefully. But what we do know is you're going to see a man emotionally break down. You're going to see a man lose it spiritually, physically, emotionally. And damn it, just like a car crash on the side of the highway, you have to tune in to watch this. You have to.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just the way it's going to be. And don't tell me you guys don't like that ish, because you do. So tune in. The live stream, the watch party. Do it, everybody. Do it for yourselves. Tell them about Guardian, D-Man.
Absolutely. Guardian Alarm. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Real people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and real people who have been proven to care, whether it's business, personal, it doesn't matter. Guardian Alarm, they got your back, but I need you to call the number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out of your fields on Saturday, Spenny.
Oh, boy. Stay out of this breaking news that I have about Michigan football coming up next segment.
Either way, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy, we sent you. And you know what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? Well, obviously, you expand and offer more products to more people. It's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile, and check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand that you want, LesStanford.com. Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Neal Rhul here for Five Iron Golf, downtown Detroit's newest sports bar. 13 TrackMan simulators, certified golf instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and a restaurant. They even have restrooms there, Big Mike Gentry. 5 Iron Golf Leagues are going on right now. You can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. Ooh. Bring a foursome. Sign up as an individual. Go to 5irongolf.com. Use a promo code Woodward10 at checkout. You get 30% off your league fees. How can you not, as a good friend of mine used to say?
Rip.
Go to 5irongolf.com to sign up. 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit's newest sports bar. Keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rhul, Spencer Raxter, Darren McCarty, Big Mike Gentry, is going to run out and go to the bathroom here in just a second. And it's just another example of when we're somewhere and they come in and they flip the position of the stage and the equipment for the 2 to 4 show here.
Yep.
Big Mike Gentry would never leave that booth and go to the bathroom. He himself said, I wouldn't even ask.
Well, don't they have a porta potty in there for the 2 to 4 show? Because guys aren't allowed to. They even lock that door and don't let him out. Doesn't Maz have to go on and lock the guy in the TD booth?
Man, I remember when we had to be in here with the door shut. Those were sweaty times.
Yes, they were.
Dude,
yes, they were.
God, middle of July with the door shut in here is 120 degrees.
We do.
Hey, the kids don't know what it was like growing up around here, Spenny. Growing up
sure.
around here back in the day.
That's for sure.
Some breaking news concerning Michigan football. Ross Dellinger and Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports reporting the NCAA has opened an investigation into number 2 Michigan over possible rule breaking around in-person scouting of opponents, sources tell Ross and Dan Wetzel. The NCAA has alerted the Big Ten. The league confirmed to Yahoo Sports without revealing specifics.
Well, it sounds like their whole first-team offense and defense shouldn't play this week. That would just be fair.
He still can't win, Spatty.
Yeah, he'd probably still lose.
The allegations pertain to NCAA bylaw 11.6.1, which reads, off-campus, in-person scouting of future opponents in the same season is prohibited, sources say. The Big Ten Conference received notification from the NCAA. The organization is conducting the investigation into the Wolverines and declined to confirm any more details. I'm sorry?
Sounds like they should have to forfeit this game.
Teams are normally required to provide extensive video footage to scout opponents. At issue, according to sources, is whether Michigan used unnamed individuals to attend games of both scheduled opponents and possible college football playoff opponents in an effort to gather information on the signs they use to call offensive and defensive plays.
All right, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. Jim Harbaugh bought me a couple cheeseburgers. He said, hey, go to this Georgia game, write down what you see, get it back to me. I did it. I scouted for Jim Harbaugh. I scouted Georgia. He got me some cheeseburgers.
And it's been on your conscience.
And it's been on my conscience. I just, for some reason, thought that this week would be a good time to get it out there. I'm sorry, Michigan guys. I let you down. It would make sense if you guys forfeited this week.
Yes.
Damn.
The story goes on to say 2 of Michigan's opponents this season told Yahoo Sports they became aware that Michigan knew their play signs. Sign stealing does not violate NCAA rules unless the team uses in-game electronic equipment to relay the information to players on the field or amongst coaches.
Dude, dude, isn't this the stuff we're talking about? Michigan needs to swim in waters like this to compete at a different, So you're telling me that somebody went and watched and sort of like did a pre-scout and bring back like reconnaissance, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, hey, you know what? Change your signs up, you idiots. If you're like, it happens in baseball. Like, I agree, right? Like electronically, or if you're using a system or doing, what the Patriots did or tape and things like that. But if you got somebody going there to watch the game and maybe picking stuff up, isn't that trying to get an advantage? I don't see a problem with it.
Jim Harbaugh gave me his personal phone number. He said to text him during games when I see the signs that I scouted. I was doing it. I can pull up the text. I'm sorry. You're going to have to forfeit the game.
And a lot of people saying in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Dirty Dr. D, Michigan doesn't need to scout their schedule thus far, or scout the teams on their schedule thus far.
No, it made it sound like it was Penn State, Ohio State,
Georgia,
like
stuff
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So is it legal if you send a guy like an employee then, or you just can't do it? You can't go.
You can't do it.
So what if I'm watching tape and I have somebody like I don't get it.
Then you're not in person.
So you can do that.
I was on
so if you got it, so if you could.
But the footage is not going to show that. The footage is just going to show the field, the play.
So if you got footage of just that, then that would be cheating too.
Correct. I didn't make the rules.
I don't know. It just seems like there's bigger things.
Lou Wei. So we basically New England Patriots cheated. LOL. El Gato sounds like the Houston Astros. A lot of Michigan Wolf Astros in the chat as well. There's Kalamazoo accusing me of Michigan hate. I didn't send the tweet. I didn't write the story. I didn't launch the investigation. I'm reading it to you.
I was there. I stole the signs. I texted them to Jim. I'm sorry. You just gotta have to forfeit this week.
Yes.
How many more times you got to say it, Spencer?
I know, right? That's
Uncle Neil's
whistle.
Uncle Neil's Soft Feet says this is a nothing burger. The last paragraph of the story, though, again, this isn't me writing this. The last paragraph of the story, though, when you hear it, I'm just saying, Michigan is already under NCAA investigation for a series of Level 2 rule violations that include Harbaugh meeting with recruits during COVID dead period, using too many coaches in practices, and watching player workouts on Zoom. The school suspended Harbaugh for the first 3 games of the season after a negotiated resolution between the school and the NCAA after a 4-game sit-down offer collapsed. This case is expected to be heard after the 2023 season. So, again, does not matter. And DMAC, yes. See, Kalamazoo, listen to me. Everybody that says you're a Michigan hater, listen to what I say. Good they were doing that. Who cares? Good. Take every advantage you can get. Go win. Stop the shit about Michigan man and Michigan way. Get in the weeds like everybody else. Do it. That's the way you win. Do what everybody else is doing. Don't hold yourself to a higher standard. Go win. Do what it takes to win. End of story. Deal with that shit later. Because guess what? You guys command a good TV audience. They need you. They need you. Remember that. The first game that they did in this whole Peacock experiment, who do they use? Michigan. That was by design, everybody, because they knew people were going to go watch. Go do it. Who cares?
Maybe this is a sign, too, that legitimately, even though you're the odds-on favorite, you're the betting favorite to win the championship, is that you're swimming in these waters nationally, because now they're looking at you with a microscope, or everybody, doing things that this is things that you're doing as a Michigan program that lets me know that you want to win. Isn't it, Neal?
Yes.
In this winning things, pushing the envelope, different things like that. And,
yes.
and this doesn't sound like it was the same thing as what the Patriots did. because they were videotaping and doing different things like that. We haven't heard. This isn't videotape. This is just guys going. This is just Spenny going there and reporting what he
for
saw
a couple of
over some cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I was there. I was boots on the ground. I was at Penn State. I was at Georgia.
That's what you meant when you were going to have an influence on this weekend, no matter what. Just wait and see.
Yeah.
Gentle Comedian says it's not clear these violations won't be heard. This team might be banned from a bowl game. At the end of the story, they said that it will be heard after the season is over.
They're going to have to forfeit this week. It's all right. I blew the whistle. I'm sorry, guys. Jim, I let you down. I know the cheeseburger just wasn't good enough. I wanted the Wagyu burger. You skimped out. You didn't give me that.
This is on you.
Yeah, it's on you.
Easy does it. When does Ryan and Ermanni start? That's 2-4 after BMG and everybody flips over the studio.
And that is also the same person.
I don't do no flipping.
You sure?
Ryan is Ermanni. It's not Ryan and Ermanni. It is just Ryan Ermanni.
Here, let me tell you about Dispo. You guys will be there tomorrow. Experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory for Michigan's largest variety of products. The first ever cannabis mall of its kind is conveniently located off of Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo, just south or north of the Rhul Estates.
Just a little north.
Just a little north. Dispo Romeo is now open late night until midnight. Yes, midnight every day except Sunday. Can it get any better than that? Think not. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
With 18 locations, there's a Feldman Automotive dealership near you and possibly right in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience, and it's called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. We'll be back out there on Monday. As a matter of fact, Feldman Chevrolet in Novi.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Join Woodward Sports and a long drink live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate. Next one is the Monday night game, October 30th at 5:15. Where's Shed 5? That's where it is. Downtown Eastern Market. Always a basket. Official Lions tailgates back better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports? Be treated like a VIP. Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and direct message Lions VIP.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Rhul, and Darren McCarty, and Big Mike Gentry and Spencer Raxter. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there. Pistons fan 11 is reporting the NCAA is considering making Michigan play actual football teams next year as punishment. We have not confirmed that. Our sources are working to see if that is the case. BMG, Ohio State, Penn State this weekend. You going to be keeping an eye on it?
Oh, yeah. My best friend's an Ohio State fan, so we're going to be tapping in for sure.
Gotcha.
He's going to be stealing sides. He's going to send them back to Harbaugh. He got a cheeseburger.
Yeah, so, you'll be keeping an eye on that. It's funny, man. Yesterday we were talking about the Heisman thing, and I'm already seeing writers that are talking nationally about how they're pulling Georgia from the #1 spot and their poll for next week and all that kind of stuff. And I was listening to some of the national shows this morning, and Danny Cannell was on Sirius XM, former Florida State quarterback, was talking about it. And he was saying how basically with Michigan's schedule, if you get a bunch of one-loss teams together, he said in no world would I take Michigan in the playoff. You know, say you have Oklahoma or Texas as a one-loss Big 12 champion. You have Washington as a one-loss Pac-12 champion. Say Alabama's a one-loss SEC champion. You know, you get to the point where how in good conscience could you take Michigan? And I'm sitting there driving, and I'm laughing. I'm like, Danny, you know big-time college football, man. You know what this stuff's driven by.
Neal, you nailed it when you just and subtly put out, hey, guys, Peacock did an experiment. First game. Who was it? Wasn't Georgia. Wasn't Alabama. Who was it? It was Michigan. It's that tenure, that pedigree or whatever that if there's one-loss teams, it's easier to take Michigan.
Yes.
To your point, right? Because it's already in the ether. It's already in the universe by what they did and what was the return, right? What was the Peacock's return on viewership, right? Exactly where they thought it would be.
Right.
So they're not going to miss out, especially in a year like this where it could go to anyone. This helps Michigan.
It was funny too because this kind of popped in my head. Say Michigan, because Michigan's going to beat Penn State. Penn State is an imposter. They're a phony. They're a fraud. And I have years of data to back up my point. Right, BMG? You can tell me what you think. I'll tell you what we've seen.
Yes, in the past they have been, very iffy, but I think they have a good team this year. But yes, they do still have James Franklin as their head coach.
They do.
I know you're going to say
and they'll never overcome that.
Yeah.
But with that being said, to talk to Danny Cannell, I would say, Danny, look, not only would I say that they'll get in as a one-loss team, they don't even have to win the conference to get in as a one-loss team. They lose to Ohio State.
We saw it last year.
Yeah, because DMAC, like the mental spin zone that will go on, you watch this too if it happens. That win that Ohio State had over Notre Dame will become Michigan's win over Notre Dame because they lost to Ohio State, who beat Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? It will become Michigan's win over Notre Dame. It'll be wild. They're fine. They're not going anywhere. They don't even need to win the Big Ten. They are in the playoff.
I told him it was Harbaugh. He told me to steal the signs. I got them for him.
You got to forfeit.
Yeah, got to forfeit this week. Sorry. Cheeseburger.
Rick says it broke Peacock streaming records. There's your answer.
There it is.
So that's it.
Quick shout out.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Shout out, Dan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Dan. Keep watching that Unrivaled, kid.
Dan the man.
And don't listen to Flam.
Dan.
Absolutely. What do you guys got on the heavyweights today, Spenny?
Cheeseburgers, boots on the ground. They're going to forfeit. No, we're going to talk a lot of Lions. Talk a couple different things. We're having somebody on from the Grind Line podcast to talk about Red
Nice.
Wings. Yeah, so excited for that.
Get it in.
Yeah,
And they know their stuff.
Very excited.
I forgot Easy is our Swedish,
elite
scouting correspondent.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on, Jay Singles. Before we ride out, Neal, can you give me your best Mel Kiper impression explaining how Neal Rhul will retire to Florida and open a bait shop by the ocean called the Master Bait Shop? We don't have time for that, do we, Spenny?
There's not enough time.
We don't have time for that, do we?
No, I don't think so.
I think what you're going to see with Neal Rhul is he's going to let this broadcasting thing run its course. He's going to do his thing, and he wants to go retire somewhere warm. So what the play is going to be is you're going to see Neal Rhul. He's going to retire down to South Florida. He wants to live on the ocean. So he's going to open a business. Any business will do, but not just any business. It's got to be regionally related. So he's going to open a bait shop for the deep-sea fishers to go in there. He's going to call it the Master Bait Shop. And from there, he'll moonlight as a strip club DJ at some of the best strip clubs in South Florida. That's right. The clouds are forming outside because coming to the stage, it's Storm. Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Deuces.